Greetings, everyone. This is the Dreamer of Chaos. And I'm a little too close to the mic. Sorry about that. Listen up. So, I just got back from my trip yesterday. Yes, for those of you who did not know, I was in Toronto, Canada for the International Barbershop Harmony Society competition, convention, thingamajigger. And this year celebrated 75 years of barbershopping. Give me a woo woo! Because that was awesome. Not everybody was impressed with the convention, but being that it was my first, I had a really good time. There was a lot of singing on trains, on buses, on... Oh gosh, where else was there singing? They were singing in the streets, they were singing in pubs, there was singing everywhere. By a bunch of guys who were very brotherly, very peaceful, very homely, very awesome. I'm sorry if you hear that in the background. That's either the lawnmower or the washing machine, both of which are on right now and extremely loud, and I really don't want to record this another time. People have been asking me to talk about my trip, and honestly, there's not much that I can say. I will tell you that the winners of the chorus competition were the Toronto Northern Lights, and they did a vegetable medley. Now, if you don't know what that means, you know what? Before I go and explain anything else, because, honestly, I don't think you really care about who won, but you should know what barbershop harmony is. Barbershop harmony is a style of music that is strictly for men. If you are a female barbershopper, you're called a Sweet Adeline. Okay, you're singing Sweet Adeline music. And barbershoppers reference Sweet Adelines in their music so much. There is a song titled Sweet Adeline. So, yeah. So barbershopping is done in 4 parts, and it's done in sevenths. Don't ask me what that means. I'm not a musical person. I couldn't explain it to you. And you have the tenor, which is the high male part, the lead, which is the melody most of the time. You have your baritone, which is slightly lower and harmonizing, and then your bass, which is super low and harmonizing. It's these 4 parts, 4 guys singing in harmony. And if you're a part of a chorus, then you have those 4 parts with a mass number of people, and you're all blending and then creating harmony. It's a beautiful sound. In fact, actually, over my trip, I got 2 CDs from one of the champion quartets, actually the champions of 2012. They're a bunch of Swedish guys called the Ringmasters. And honestly, I think their baritone is a total hottie, and he's adorable. Seriously, by the way, I don't date, so, I mention this right now because I will not date you because you're not a barbershopper. I will not date you because you're a boy on the internet. And I will not date you because generally I don't want to be in a relationship. Okay? So can you stalkers please just lay off and stop asking me to date you? I mean, geez. You're not a Swedish barbershopper, darn it. I don't want you. I'm kidding, by the way, but seriously, don't ask me for a date. I'm sick of people bothering me about that. It's been going on and on and on, and ugh. Honestly, there are better girls in the world. Leave me alone. Anyways, back to barbershopping. So, yeah, I got to hear them perform live along with another Swedish quartet, Lemon Squeezy, who won the college competition last year. Let's see. The Toronto Northern Lights were the winners of the chorus competition, and they were fantastic. Like I said, they did a vegetable medley, and all of them were dressed up as either vegetables or sunflowers or cabbages or in the dirt. Oh gosh. And it was basically a medley of parodied songs that had to do with vegetables. Like, Michael Jackson's song Beat It? Yeah, they did a barbershop arrangement of Beat It in there for this one beat that was there. And there's this song, like, The Age of Aquarius, but instead they did it The Age of Asparagus, and it's really funny. Actually, my parents and I are thinking of purchasing the webcast soon. So I'm actually looking around for some software to do some screen recording so that we can capture it and, watch it whenever, because there were some really, really great numbers that I would love to save, and I'm not sure that we can do that by just purchasing the webcast. So if any of you could do me a hand, or do me a favor and tell me what type of program you use to record your computer screen when you are recording stuff and getting stuff off the web to put in videos Like, seriously, what do you use to record your computer monitor? If you know something that's free or something that's decent quality, please let me know. I'm asking you this because of my dad and because, well, I'd like to use it for some stuff too, because I do some Photoshop work that I would really like to share with you. So if you would like to see more drawing stuff from me, you could really do me a favor and tell me if you know of any software stuff. I'm just saying, it'll benefit us both. You know, I'm trying to make a deal here, you know? I'm sorry. So, yeah. I fell in love with some of the rookies this year, like The Crush. I mean, The Crush was amazing. They were a great quartet. I really liked Forefront, too. They did a nice job. We got to see some of the older champions, like I said, Ringmasters from last year. This year, the quartet champion was Masterpiece, and I do not think they deserved it in the least bit. They were just not that good. Let's see. Then there was, for the college competition, there was the Newfangled Four, and they did amazing. I mean, they totally deserved what they won for the college competition. It was great. While in Toronto, I also got to do some stuff outside of barber shopping, but before I tell you about that, I will tell you that I did a lot of walking around the city. I got to go to a Blue Jays game, although we only stayed until a little bit after the third inning because it was so hot. Ugh. The barbershoppers actually got to sing at that game, and I think I have some recording of it, but my camera, I was using my dad's camera for it, so I might need to work with a different program in order to edit it because his camera records in QuickTime, whereas mine is compatible with Windows Media Player, yet the quality sucks. Yeah, so that's something there. Let's see. So yeah, they sang at the ball game, and that was pretty cool. There was the mass sing-along, which was really nice. We had one guy conducting all of us, and it was in a roundhouse, where trains are turned around, and that was pretty cool. This is all during the last day, by the way. We went to a really nice restaurant at one point called Donatello's, so if you're looking for a really good Italian restaurant in Toronto, go to Donatello's. It's a really nice place. Same with The Fox. It's right next to another place called The Miller. And The Miller I didn't care for as much, but The Fox was amazing. They have some great pesto in there. Great pesto. So if you're looking for a place to eat in Toronto, now you have someone who's been there and can tell you that those are really great places to eat. Let's see, what else is there? Okay. So, I ended up going to the Ontario Science Museum as well, and there was this, exhibit going on at the time that I was there, and it's going on until, I think, September 2nd, I'm not sure, but it's called Game On 2.0, or is it just Game 2.0? I don't remember. But it's at this museum, and there were over 150 playable video games available in there, and I thought that was so cool. My dad and I played some stuff together, because obviously I was on this trip with him and my uncle, which I did not tell you about earlier, and he was a joy to have with us. I mean, he was singing everywhere. He started some of the singing on the train. I wish I had recorded it, but I didn't. I was too busy holding on for dear life to the train, because I get nervous on trains that are underground. Yet, I don't get nervous in trains above ground, just underground. I get nervous. Don't ask me why. It's the same thing with blood. I mean, I'm okay with real blood. I mean, I know the dangers of that. I know what, not to get that in my system, whereas fake blood, I'm scared to death of. Maybe it's because, fake blood looks a lot more gruesome to me than real blood. I don't know why. It just does. Just don't question it. I'm not afraid of real blood. I'm afraid of fake blood. Just don't question it. So yeah, my dad and I were at that museum exhibit, and we had a heck of a time. And this was actually the first time that my dad had ever seen a video game with beautiful graphics, and you'll never guess what he saw them on. Now he knows why gamers play high-def games like Sonic Generations on their high-def televisions. He had never seen a high-def game before Sonic Generations. Yes, I know, this really makes you wonder what household I was brought up with. Let me just tell you, as a kid, I did not have video games. I did not get video games into my life. Like, I wasn't able to play them until August of 2008 when my family bought our Wii. So keep that in mind. And the Wii is not the best quality in the world. But there were a lot of great games at the exhibit. I mean, we had we had the original Super Mario 64 in there. We had the Ocarina of Time, for the Legend of Zelda series. We had this 2-player version of Space Invaders, which my dad and I did because he loves his Space Invaders. Let's see. There were some other things. We saw some Tomb Raider in there, Jak and Daxter. Just named some of the big boys. We saw those really old ones that were, just a knob and a button, and my dad and I raced against each other. We played ping pong. We flew at each other in airplanes. He and I designed a fat guy in a top hat named Roberto on The Sims 3 because that was there for some reason. I played a little bit of Pokemon Yellow, although I had to run away from the battle because the person who had last been playing it left the game in a terrible situation. I mean, most of the Pokemon had fainted, and the most powerful Pokemon that would have gotten you to the best point in the game was paralyzed, and that was a Nidoqueen. So yeah, but it was still pretty cool. I got to play the Sonic Mega Collection on the GameCube because there was this thing with Sonic right next to Mario. You had the Super Mario All-Stars game on, right next to the Mega Collection. And it was on Sonic 2, and if any of you know anything about me, Sonic 2 was the first Sonic game that I ever got addicted to. It was the first one that I really started playing. I mean, I started with Sonic 1 on the Sonic Classic Collection for the Nintendo DS. But on the Classic Collection, the thing that I really got addicted to was Sonic 2. I mean, I'm up to Oil Ocean Zone in there after all of these years, and I still have not beaten the second act of the Oil Ocean Zone because I suck. But yeah, I got to play Sonic 2 in essentially a really cool place. My dad filmed me playing it. I later found out for 39 seconds, although I can't show you. And most of it is actually me explaining how the game works to him, because he's like, and you've never played this before? Well, I played it once on the DS, but I haven't played this level other than that one time. So, I'm a little rusty, and I've never played it with a GameCube controller, so I don't really know how that works. And he's like, dang, you're a natural. And I'm like, thank you. Yeah, but I got to play some Donkey Kong Jr. We saw one guy playing Burger Time, which is one of the very few video games that my mom will play. Yes, we were at Disney Quest once, and she played it there, and I thought that was really, really cool that my mom would actually play a video game. I mean, my mom doesn't play any video games, and quite frankly, my dad doesn't either. But, they knew about Donkey Kong, they knew about the Atari, so it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, but, It was a great time. My dad and I had a lot of fun at that exhibit, and it was just great. The actual barbershop convention itself was a lot of fun. I came back with a few t-shirts from the trip. One of them has a Star Wars joke on it. It's a green shirt with white lettering, and it says, "I find your lack of sevenths disturbing." It's for all the Star Wars geeks and the barbershop geeks. And the woman who was selling it was like, one kid sent me a picture of him in that shirt, and he was going to his first day of his first day of freshman year, and he was holding a pitch pipe and a lightsaber in the picture. And I had to laugh at that story. That was great. I got to meet some really cool people too, from some of my favorite quartets of all time. I got to meet KJ from Lunch Break, and Lunch Break is one of the comedy quartets next to the Hot Air Buffoons. Lunch Break is amazing. They have this one sketch that they did a few years ago called Old MacDonald Had a Deformed Farm, and it's all these animals with these different disabilities, and it's really, really funny. I mean, some people may find it offensive, but, I find it hilarious. And they actually continued it this year with a sloth that was on drugs and a horse that had some private issues down in the nether regions. But that was fun. And a big running joke with Lunch Break for the entire competition was 99 Bottles of Beer on the Wall. That was the first song that they did when in the quartet competition. And the song goes, 99 bottles of beer on the wall, 99 bottles of beer. You take one down, pass it around, 98 bottles of beer on the wall. And it was starting to take forever. So then one of the guys is an accountant, and that's how they opened it up. So they then started doing complex math to try and get it to a lower number. And then there was something about drunk and crazed monkeys, and there's a pony button on that thing? And it was really, really funny. So yeah, but they ended up with 99 bottles of beer on the wall because one of the guys screwed it up. Yeah. So that was a running joke, and they actually appeared with another chorus as kind of a guest. And there was one part when one of the guys from Lunch Break was pretending to choke on something, and they started passing him the beer mugs, and they were like, 99 bottles of beer on the wall, 99 bottles of beer, while they're doing it in the barbershop style. So, it's a harmony of 99 bottles of beer on the wall. Yeah, but the second sketch they did for the second round, because they made it, was about a four-headed man. So that was pretty interesting. The hot air buffoons weren't as good, but the second set they did was about being a crash dummy, and the first one they did was all about food. They were really funny. There was another comedy quartet I can't remember the name of that did something about late night television, and then another song about commercials. But they made some Honey Boo Boo reference or something, and that was pretty funny. Yeah. As for the other guy that I met that was a really big guy is someone from my favorite quartet of all time, Round Midnight. I met the lead of Round Midnight. His name is Wayne, and they are amazing. Wayne wears a fedora. Now, you may not know this about me, but I have an obsession with fedoras. It was so cool. I love fedoras. Okay, this video is getting to be a little bit long, and that's pretty much everything I gotta tell you about my trip. I mean, I met a guy in a fedora. I got to see some of the best quartets and choruses in the entire world. I've gained a new appreciation for barbershop, too. So, I'm thinking of actually, because I now have 2 CDs from Ringmaster, I'm going to be loading up the CD from OC Times, which is a retired quartet because they won the championships years ago, and once you've won the quartet competition, you can't ever compete again, which I don't really care for. And I have 2 Round Midnight CDs, so hopefully I can use some of that music in my videos, because it's all a cappella singing, and it's all barbershop, and I think it would be really cool to use. So, go put down in the comments what you think. If you know a program that I can use to do some screen capturing on my computer, please tell me. I would really, really appreciate it, preferably before Wednesday. But, I'll take it after that. So this is Dreamer of Chaos 1 signing off. I'm sorry this took so long. Bye.